Imperial is better.
Come on, man.
It uses feet and inches instead of these little tiny units, man.
Come on, metric. It's all tens. It's literally multiples of 10. How can you go wrong? It's consistent.
How's it going, everyone? I'm James with Microvellum, and in this Limelight episode, we'll be talking with Daniel, an account manager for Microvellum for the UK and Europe region. In this episode, we'll hear from Daniel and find out more about who he is, how he's helping clients in his part of the world, and find out what he's looking most forward to with the future of Microvellum in his area. Daniel, thank you for joining me today. How are things going for you?
Hi, James. Yeah, thanks for having me. Things are great over here in the UK at the moment.
Awesome. So, Daniel, I have to say, I've avoided saying your last name intentionally because I've heard it pronounced several different ways. Mesecke, Mesecke, Mesk. Can you clarify exactly how to pronounce your name, or should we just call you Danielson?
Yeah, I think you actually missed one as well. I think Mesecke is probably the one I get hear quite a lot, actually, but Mesecke.
Mesecke.
Mesecke. All right. Mesecke.
All right, everyone. There you have it. There's no excuse if you mess it up now. Now, you live in the UK, but you're not British. You're Australian. So what has that been like for you?
Yeah, it's been an experience. I think I came over here 2011, so I've been here nearly 10 years now. I think probably the hardest thing when I first arrived was everyone asking me, "You all right?" There's very sort of British things. "Are you all right?" Like, "How are you?" Just ask me how I am, But over here, I really like over here. I think the main thing for me being in London or the UK is being close to Europe. I like to go to Europe, have those sort of European holidays, different culture, different food, things like that. But probably the biggest thing I miss from being back home in Australia, friends and family. We're literally on the other side of the world, so that can be tough. But with video calls and stuff these days, we try to stay as close as we can.
Well, yeah, and that's got to be hard between the UK and Australia. I mean, that's almost a full 24 hours time difference, right? It's
as Mum says, do you have to literally be on the other side of the world?
So I've always been intrigued by the difference between British English, Australian English, and American English. But I want to know, have you ever chucked a wobbly as an adult?
I think we've probably all chucked a wobbly at some point in our life, definitely as an adult. We chuck a wobbly. Over here in the UK, they actually throw their toys out the pram. So that's another sort of relative phrase. It's there's all sorts of different things we come across over here. But yeah, definitely I've chucked a few wobblies in my time.
All right, so can you explain what chucking a wobbly is?
Yeah, so like a tantrum, like
okay,
like you're chucking your toys out the pram. So so yeah, you've had enough. You're kicking up a fuss and you're ready to move on.
So yeah, over here we just call that throwing a fit. And in fact, exactly. The saying in our house is you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
But
no, I love it, man. I'm probably gonna start using that with my kids. Stop chucking a wobbly. That's a poor accent. I'm sorry. So, and now I understand y'all are expecting your first child very soon, correct?
Yeah, very soon, like tomorrow morning.
Shoot, man.
So yeah, straight after this, I'm actually up to the hospital. It is like, squeaky bum time, as they say. So it's literally less than 24 hours. I'll have a little girl taking over my life.
Oh yeah, man. Well, congrats. I hope everything goes well. And I have to say, girls are great. I've got three of my own, and I've been wrapped around their fingers since the day they were born. And I'm sure it's going to be the same for you. So from one father of girls to another, good luck.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to need it.
Oh yeah. So I want to know, can you tell us what a day in the life of Daniel might look like?
Good question. I'd say, at the moment, quite busy, with Microvellum, obviously. Outside of Microvellum, I've got a dog that consumes a lot of my time. He's a very, very active dog. So walking him, I've got a narrowboat. So I actually lived on the narrowboat for 6 months, and I've been spending my time sort of renovating that on weekends, just getting that, in a livable, more livable condition. It's been great, to see that sort of come from where it was to where it is now. That's about it. To be fair, I'm now a family man, so my time is spent getting ready for the little girl that's soon to be with us.
Yeah, I mean, now you're going to be walking your dog and pushing a stroller at the same time. So that's awesome. So what can you tell us about how you got started in the woodworking industry?
Okay, so it was 2006, finished school. Throughout school, I did furniture construction. That was my sort of number one topic or class at school. And always just had I always sort of knew that's the direction that I wanted to take. I was lucky enough to have a lot of good influences around me, really. So, my teacher at school suggested maybe go more into shop fitting rather than sort of kitchen manufacturing. So there's, just more materials, more, involvement, more like in-depth construction, I guess. And, I actually wanted to be a carpenter building houses. That's just generally what the Aussie thing was. But as, my mum would say, I get sunburnt under a skylight in the kitchen. So there was not much point me trying to be outdoors for a full-time job. So yeah, that sort of like led me into the direction of, joinery or shop fitting. So I got my apprenticeship in Adelaide, South Australia, and just went from there really. I started on the bench, started doing in the machine shop as well, and then it was probably only 2 years in, the company actually invested in Microvellum. So at a very early age, very early part of my career, I was introduced to Microvellum, and straight away loved it. I moved almost into the design department immediately, and having that sort of some bench experience, some CNC experience, but also being very sort of computer literate, I was able to sort of pick up Microvellum quite quick and run with it. So nice. That's generally where it started, and it built from there.
What then with Microvellum? What's your favorite part of the software?
Yeah, I'd say definitely the solid model analyzing tools, or SMAs as we call them. The industry that I've been working in and I've always sort of worked in is that architectural joinery, where it's more than just kitchen cupboards, boxes, stuff that you're sort of pulling out of the library on a day-to-day basis. So being able to sort of draw in AutoCAD 3D and then analyze those products, I think that's where we really sort of separate ourselves from the general sort of kitchen software suppliers and things like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So what then led you to want to be part of the join the team as an account manager?
Yeah, so as I said, like I've used Microvellum since almost day one of my career, and I actually stepping into sort of cabinet making to begin with, and then seeing my sort of job progress into design, which is where I really liked. But then from there, it sort of stepped up to project management, technical director, and sometimes you sort of find yourself promoted into roles that isn't where you sort of seen yourself at the start of your career. And the one thing that was consistent throughout my 15 years in the industry before Microvellum was Microvellum. So, it's always sort of been my passion. Not that I even knew about it before I joined the industry, but, once I've sort of heard it and started using it, I've just loved it. So, to be able to cross the fence and be on the other side and actually be, part of the team it's brilliant.
As an account manager, can you tell us what regions you cover specifically?
Yeah, so all of the UK, top to bottom, and down to South Africa as well.
Wow. So from the UK all the way down to South Africa, huh? That's a lot of ground to cover, man.
I'm still waiting to get a flight to see some clients, but we'll wait for wait for COVID to clear first, and then I'll be down there for sure.
Yeah. So in regards to being an account manager, what would you say would be some of your strengths?
I think probably, as like architectural joinery is my strength, and nested manufacturing. So, it's been quite almost like a bit of an eye-opening experience for me seeing, cell-based manufacturing with point-to-point machines, vertical drilling machines, things like that. That's for, more sort of like mass production, whereas my strength is sort of more one-off bespoke pieces.
Can you explain what kind of obstacles you've had to overcome to become an account manager?
Yeah, I think probably a sense of sort of isolation in some respects. I think although we have a great, big Microvellum team, over in America and Australia, we still are a small team here in the UK. So, coming from that sort of buzzy office every day and, running to and from construction sites, I think sort of having to retrain myself to be, me and my phone and my car, and there's a lot more time of isolation really, and probably also like retraining myself a little bit for my working hours of my day. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but construction is generally, you're up and you started at sort of 7 o'clock. This is the industry where people don't really want to speak to me before 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So, I can sort of like ease myself into the day a little bit more rather than, being sort of at my desk with my shirt and my coffee at sort of 7 in the morning. So, yeah.
Yeah. So we just had an exchange event, and it was more so for the Australian region, but in it, we discussed what companies are doing to adapt and work in a COVID economy. What kind of challenges are you seeing in your area when it comes to that and the woodworking industry?
Over here, I'd have to say it would be the technology skills gap. And I know that's not necessarily a thing just for COVID, but I think COVID's probably made it more obvious. We're going into a period where everyone's trying to make things more automated. Everything's got to be done quicker, faster, better. But you really need to have the people available to run the software, to run the technology, to be able to realize those gains. So yeah, definitely technology and the skills around using it.
All right. And so have you been able to help companies overcome those challenges?
As you know, with Microvellum, we are effectively, streamlining the process, as we say. So, by minimizing the amount of people that need to have input into producing the design drawings and the CNC code or the beam saws, the programming of, those things later down the line, we can bring that into one role into our platform effectively. So you don't need as many people to achieve the same result. And I think that's what's brilliant about Microvellum.
Yeah, nice. So then what part of what has been your favorite part of helping companies succeed with Microvellum?
So the number one is actually, having a true influence on the progression or the direction that business is actually going to take. They've come to us and, we've told them that this software is going to improve the way that you do business and it's going to benefit your business. And for them to actually, have trust in our guidance and to be actually able to, coach them into driving their business in a certain direction, it's a very powerful position to be in. And I love doing it. I love being able to see, having that influence on a business growing because of the direction that I've pushed them down.
Nice. So I know trying to predict the future is impossible, especially, given everything that's going on in the world. But what are you looking most forward to with Microvellum, the future of Microvellum, I should say?
Yeah. So, Microvellum is big in America. We're big in Australia, and we're just the little guys at the moment here in the UK. I think for me, the number one thing is to make Microvellum, the household name in the joinery industry for the UK, really. I know we've got the right tools, we've got the right people backing us, and I'm sure in time the industry will realise that over here in the UK.
Awesome. So last question, not related to work, but related to the future. What are you looking most forward to doing with your daughter?
I'd have to say taking her home to my parents in Australia, getting on the plane, meeting the family. It's really tough at the moment, obviously with COVID. They can't come and see her, so we're looking literally next Christmas is probably the earliest time that she'll get to meet her grandparents and uncles and aunties. So yeah, definitely getting her back and introducing her to Australia and the Australian way.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm happy for you, and I hope, like I said, that all goes well. I hope mama and baby are happy and healthy, and that don't lose any sleep, too much sleep at night. But that's awesome. So, well, Daniel, thank you for joining me again today to discuss things and get to know you better and talk a little bit about Microvellum and the future there. I do want to say before we end, Imperial is better.
Come on, man.
It uses feet and inches instead of these little tiny units, man.
Come on, metric. It's all tens. It's literally multiples of 10. How can you go wrong? It's consistent.
So, well, I mean, it makes sense, but I'm used to this way. You're used to your way. I guess the rest of the world is used to your way, the metric system. But I don't know. Maybe one of these days we'll finally convert over here in the United States, but probably not anytime soon. So again, I want to thank you for joining us, and I just want to thank everyone again who's watching. I hope you found this as insightful as I did. And don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn and our other social media accounts, as well as our Microvellum community forums, so you can stay up to date on all the new content we're creating here at Microvellum. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.